This is the physical infrastructure of the internet. Every message or video you load eventually travels through these submarine cables being pulled into the ocean. Right now, roughly 5 billion people rely on these physical connections to move exabytes of data every single day. These cables lead to a specific topological bottleneck. Almost all global traffic is funneled through just 10,000 hyperscale data centers. Processing that volume in centralized hubs requires 50,000 megawatts of continuous net new power. When 5 companies control the processing middle, it creates a structural vulnerability where data sovereignty and network speed are governed by the interests of the provider. The physical fiber networks crossing our oceans are functional. The mathematical failure point is the centralized processing warehouse. The CIRIS Epistemic Web Platform, or CEWP, proposes a different middle using those same cables under the ocean. Instead of routing through 10,000 hyperscalers, the architecture uses a small world trust graph to connect users directly to each other. Moving away from warehouses requires shifting the processing load from custom hyperscale silicon back to commodity devices already owned by users. The system is designed to target a 3.9 times improvement in network latency and the elimination of 139 megatons of carbon emissions. Achieving this requires a solution to a difficult engineering problem: how to route and process the traffic of 5 billion users entirely at the edge without a single central server. Proving the viability of this model requires a calculation of the hardware and power capacity actually available at the network edge. We start with the existing edge compute pool: 1.49 billion phones and hundreds of millions of laptops currently online. This table breaks down power consumption by device class to find the marginal share. A phone acting as a client only dedicates 5% of idle power to routing. It utilizes electricity already spent, resulting in 4,823 megawatts. Because mobile devices change networks constantly, the architecture requires a dedicated L1 backbone for stability. The math calls for a ratio of roughly 1 always-on home server, like a basic ARM mini PC, for every 10 humans, totaling 500 million boxes worldwide. Each node needs 3 things: 1 terabyte of solid-state storage, a 1 gigabit per second link, and 1 full CPU core. Distributing the load across this fleet reduces the total continuous network power from 50,000 megawatts to just over 10,000. While edge compute and storage are abundant, the primary bottleneck for distributed networks is the bandwidth limit of the average home connection. If 500 million home nodes attempt to synchronize the global internet, standard 1 gigabit home links will saturate and fail. The solution lies in user behavior. About 65% of typical activity never leaves its home metro area. This localization is not a routing trick. It is a rule of the CEWP wire format. All data in the network is categorized into one of 7 cohort tiers, ascending from self and family up to the full federation. The bottom 2 tiers, self and family, account for the majority of the 65% local traffic. On the global network, data availability is broadcast using a cryptographic attestation, holds bytes SHA-256. Data scoped to the self or family tiers structurally omits this attestation entirely. Because the data is never advertised, external peers cannot request it. The bytes cannot flow over the global network. Legacy web platforms attempt to hide data using privacy policies or access control lists, both of which can be modified or bypassed. The CEG locality dividend creates privacy through structural absence, keeping 65% of traffic off the global mesh to protect home bandwidth. We still have to account for the remaining 35% of traffic, the public data that must cross the federation without overwhelming node storage. Existing decentralized protocols struggle at this scale because they treat storage and identity as separate layers. By isolating anonymous storage from social identity, these protocols provide no way for a node to choose what it hosts based on trust. CEWP unifies these functions through a substrate primitive called put-blob signing. Every single byte is permanently welded to a hybrid post-quantum identity using ED25519 and MLDSA65 signatures. This enables trust-set routing, where nodes only accept bytes signed by cryptographic identities within their defined trust radius. Eventually, even a curated stream will reach the home node's 1 terabyte storage budget. When storage is full, the substrate executes an automated eviction discipline based on a formula of popularity multiplied by freshness. Welding identity attribution and automated eviction into a single operation allows commodity hardware to handle the storage requirements of a global network. With the system operational, the differences between the legacy web and the CEWP mesh are clear. The legacy web averages 90 milliseconds of latency. The edge mesh drops that to 23 milliseconds. This happens because trust-set routing removes the need for data to make a round trip to a distant hyperscale region. Grid emissions drop from over 175 megatons to 36.2 megatons. The legacy footprint is a direct result of building net new warehouses to house custom silicon at scale. The edge architecture requires 0 new data centers, functioning entirely on the fleet of distributed home boxes. All of this logic runs over the fiber optic cables that currently cross our oceans. The multi-billion-dollar physical fiber network remains untouched. Only the rules governing how data is moved and stored have changed. By stripping the processing middle from 5 legacy hyperscalers, the platform relocates routing and storage control to the cryptographic edge. The model demonstrates that the global internet can scale on commodity hardware, while returning data sovereignty to the people on the ends of the cables.